Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon Perna, and yes, we finally have some exciting and real football news. No more of this, did you see Chad Kelly fucking throwing a football on Instagram? No more of this, the Bills are not going to trade Tyrod Taylor bullshit. I'm talking real football news. The Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Rams have agreed on a trade. The Chiefs are sending their too liberal and outspoken for the Bible Belt corner, Marcus Peters, to Los Angeles, where his Anthem Protests won't even be noticed in a never-ending cycle of celebrity sex scandals and soul-sucking traffic for a handful of draft picks. Personally, though, I don't think Marcus Peters should be allowed to even play in the NFL. Andy Reid demanded this trade after Marcus Peters sexually assaulted him several times. The fact that the Rams are willing to employ this monster is fucking disgusting. This trade is interesting for several reasons, which I will poorly explain in today's episode. That's Good Sports. I do have big dick shout-outs for my newest Patreon supporters, James Bowles, Jordan Ree, Ferdinand123, Foster for Life for upping their donation to $10. Thank you, Foster for Life. Another 10 big ones from Where to Smoke in Denver, Jeffrey D. Patella, and Scotty Fife. Thank you guys, and your donations are literally what pay my bills, especially in the off season. So if you wanna help, go to patreon.com/thatsgoodsports, where I also offer a podcast just for my patrons. All right, the Chiefs, they have been busy since Marcus Mariota single-handedly taint punched them in the playoffs. First, they traded their quarterback, Alex Smith, who had the best season of his career, to the Washington Redskins for cornerback Kendall Fuller and a third-round pick. Fuller was one of the best slot corners in the NFL in 2017, which is really the only reason the Chiefs were able to trade away Marcus Peters without completely decimating their secondary. It has been no secret that the owner of the Chiefs, Clark Hunt, was not a fan of Marcus Peters' beliefs about what it's like being a black man in the United States. Hunt hasn't been as hard on Peters as the fans in Kansas City have, but I find it strange when a team owner like Hunt takes time out of his day to tell his players like, hey, we would really like it if you guys do not protest during the national anthem. It makes our fans very mad. Which I actually understand. I mean, have you guys seen how white Kansas City's fans are? Seriously, try and find one black guy in this picture. It's like, where's Waldo? If Waldo were black and surrounded by people who never exercise. All you need to know about Clark Hunt is that he has less of a problem employing a guy who pleaded guilty to domestic violence after strangling his pregnant girlfriend than he does a guy who speaks his mind about his views on the world.
Woo! Let's go, Marcus. Shit, where we going, bro?
And the Rams are getting a very talented corner when this trade actually goes through on March 14th. I think Marcus Peters' 19 interceptions in 3 seasons makes up for the fact that he only likes to tackle when Deion Sanders is watching. I'm not saying Marcus Peters is scared to tackle, but he avoids contact like Tom Brady. He avoids contact like Jodie Foster. He avoids contact like somebody who just had LASIK surgery. Peters' biggest attribute is that he's the only player in the NFL not afraid to flag the referees. A rule I hope the XFL takes seriously. Field Yates gave an interesting fact on Twitter that the addition of Marcus Peters will give the Rams roster 8 first-round draft picks from 2013 to 2016. You've got Tavon Austin, Aaron Donald, Dominique Easley, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Alec Ogletree, Marcus Peters, and Sammy Watkins. The reason that stat is stupid, though, is because Sammy Watkins and Dominique Easley will be unrestricted free agents come March 14th. So they have 8 first-rounders for the next 3 weeks. 3 weeks in which 0 football will be played. Hey, Field Yates, the Redskins also have 2 top 10 QBs on their roster. And Josh McDaniels was the head coach of the Colts for a while, you fucking idiot. Thanks for pointing that out, Field Yates. I'm just kidding. I'm a fan of your work. The Rams, in terms of their cap space, are in pretty good shape right now. Peters is only going to cost $1.7 million this season. Guys like Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley, and Jared Goff are all on their rookie contracts, which means they are heavily underpaid. If the Rams don't get a deal worked out with Aaron Donald before he hits the free agent market next season, they're fucking idiots. Los Angeles has $45 million in cap space, just acquired a very good corner, but also have corners Trumaine Johnson and Nickel Roby-Coleman, who oddly enough plays nickel corner for the Rams, and safeties LaMarcus Joyner and Cody Davis, all hitting the free agent market. Johnson, Joyner, and Coleman were season-long starters, and Joyner is a fucking stud at safety. The signing of Peters means the Rams are probably going to move on from corner Trumaine Johnson. If they don't retain Joyner and Coleman, though, then they will be worse in the secondary, even with the addition of Marcus Peters. So they are going to have to spend a lot of that money on their own players, I would assume. Now, after the Peters move, some are saying the Kansas City Chiefs are going to try and sign the Denver Broncos corner Aqib Talib when the Broncos inevitably cut him. Now, I have no sources, but I believe the Broncos would be stupid to cut a Talib. They'd be stupid to cut a Talib. I believe as we get closer to the start of free agency, teams like the San Francisco 49ers or the Dallas Cowboys would be willing to trade for Aqib Talib. Both teams need corners. Talib is from Dallas, and the 49ers not only have a girthy amount of cap space, but they supposedly made a play for Marcus Peters, so they've already shown they're interested in trading for a corner. If Talib does get cut, as some have reported, the Chiefs only have $16 million in cap space right now, and if Talib hits the market, he will be the best available corner. The closest two would be the Rams' Trumaine Johnson and the Patriots' Malcolm Butler, with a projected market value of $13 million a year. I'm not sure the Chiefs will spend that kind of dough on one player in free agency when they have several needs on defense, but it gets even more complicated because Kansas City will most likely free up cap room by parting ways with Derek Johnson. I think they've made that clear. And maybe Tamba Hali, D Ford, and Ron Parker. That's 4 defensive players they may be moving on from. If the Broncos do in fact release Talib, I think his chances of landing in Los Angeles are far greater than Kansas City. The defense there is better, and he loved playing for Wade Phillips. Never underestimate those kinds of relationships in the NFL. Talib is also friends with Kayvon Webster, currently a Ram, which means Talib can get the real scoop on how the organization is run. So in conclusion, the Chiefs robbed Washington with the Alex Smith trade, assuming Patrick Mahomes is awesome, but then got worse in the secondary with this trade with the Rams. Either way, it's exciting. I don't want no fucking baseball. I don't want no fucking hockey. I don't want no fucking basketball. I just want some motherfucking football. I just want some motherfucking football on Thursday night. That's my audition for next season's Thursday Night Football song. Come on, Fox. Grow a set of balls and give me the chance to write you a good song. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports, and please make sure to check out my new show, What the Sports, with my friend TJ Carpenter. It's kind of like a weekend update, but about sports. It's exactly what the world wanted. 2 more guys talking about sports on the internet. You can see it here on my channel. It's on Facebook and at watchphantom.com.